Aloha everyone, welcome, hope you guys are doing well, appreciate you stopping in. Just gonna slowly do a little bit of quests, I suppose, and work on some things, but more so talk about some things. That's why I'm in a solos right now instead of joining a squad and doing random voices with people and stuff like that like I normally would. I am going to try to drop some knowledge for my future self, to give myself some reminders here. So I would, if you guys want to accept some of this knowledge as well, then you are more than welcome to. But as the title of my stream says, disassociate, find internal value. And in internal value, you can find eternal value. Not as in internal, but eternal, everlasting. Value that will not go away. And so, in doing so, I don't remember where any of these, I think there's one there, where these things are, but yeah, so, this is going out to future alien, or anybody who might ever watch this stream in the future, or anybody who is watching now. Shout out to all of you, and I appreciate you guys being here. But I wanted to inform myself, let myself know. You know what? I don't think it is this mountaintop. I think it's over there, actually. Mark the wrong mountain. Oh yeah, it's definitely over here. It's like there. Who is this? There's a person. I don't like that. There's a person coming down the mountain. I don't have a weapon. Oh god. Alright, but anyways, back to what I'm saying to me. So, everybody has, like, an internal need to feel part of something, feel more than themselves, and in that, we have lost touch with what basic, existence initially indicated, which was, that we are all part of tribes and we fit in somewhere amongst that tribe. We all have a role, we all fit in, we have people that we can connect with and be a part of, and this person has a gun. And, just, generally fit in, feel cared for, feel like we care about each other as well as ourselves, as well as everything, and just want to be more than we are. So, in trying to be more than we are, we tend to lose touch with just being happy with ourselves and being happy with what we are and what we have. But there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody should want to feel a connection with somebody. There's nothing disproportionate about that. There's nothing that makes you any different than anybody else, and having a connection to other people, in fact, just strengthens your bonds, strengthens your mindset, strengthens everything about you, so that you can find happiness in life in an easier way, shape, and form. And so, to find this happiness that you want to have, and you want to be, and you want to do, is the quest that we all seek. It's something that we're all searching for, we're all hoping for, we all wish to be, and usually we gather that from external things, such as how other people judge us, how we value ourselves, how much money we make, how much of, how much we own, how many friends we have, how many people would care about you if something had happened to you, how well do you fit into the group that you're in? Do they value you? Does your group see you as an important part of it? That's a necessity. Without you, the group doesn't strive as well as they would have. So, we want to feel that value. We want to feel like we mean more than we currently do. Maybe I'm actually wrong on where this thing is. I got a little mixed up and turned around. I thought it was right over here somewhere, but I guess not. But yeah, so that's one of the greatest things in life is everybody's trying to seek out a value and find some way to mean something, to fit in, to be part of a bigger picture, to leave their mark when their time ultimately runs out. What did you do? What did you leave behind? What did you offer to other people? What did you share? What did you what knowledge did you pass on? What amazing pieces of art did you leave behind? What did you do with a family? What did you do with yourself? What did you do with anything? Like, did you succeed? Do you feel like you've accomplished something and you can value your life as more than you initially saw it as? And for a lot of people, that's something that they're searching for their entire lives. Well, hey, at least I found this thing. But it's crazy to think of a quest as something that you're doing for your entire life. Something that we all feel. We all feel the need to be connected to other people. We all feel the need to be part of something bigger than ourselves. We all want to be part of a tribe. But for some of us, being part of a tribe isn't something that's necessarily doable or even easy to do, for that matter. Because, think about even in past times where a tribe might have had a shaman, and do you think the shaman necessarily fit into his tribe? Like, he was probably even kind of viewed as an outsider. He's a very spiritual person who could have ties into the world and see things in a different perspective than the rest of you. And so his spirit is bigger than his being, and because his spirit's larger than his being, in ancient times he was viewed as an important member of a tribe. But in modern times, if you are shamanistic in your ways and you don't really fit in to the modern society, you don't have a place, your spirit is larger than your body, and it clouds you. It makes it to where this spirit covers you up and other people don't see you. You almost feel like you're walking through life as a ghost, where you could be noticeable, but others choose not to notice you because people can't see a soul, and your soul is larger than your body. So how could they see through this soul of yours that's clouding you to see your actual body and treat you as part of this society? Instead, they would rather outcast you on this society and push you further away. And that doesn't mean that you're wrong in your way that you are. You fit in right where you're supposed to. And just because in modern day and age people don't feel like they need shamans as much, doesn't mean that you being a shaman is anything bad, and that that you won't fit in ultimately. You will fit in. You will find your place one of these days. You will have somewhere where you matter. You will find your tribe. We all want to be part of a tribe, and we all will eventually find our tribes. I do not want to fight this guy. I'm gonna die. Yep, that's okay. So yeah, in that sense, just being spiritually in tune is almost like outcasting yourself in this day and age. Like, everybody's so in tune with their technological devices, their value solely deprived from how good they are at a video game, how many followers they have on any given account, how many people like a photo when they post it, how many friends they have, and I would say friends with a quotation marks, because if you ask people there, and I saw a study on this, I was actually reading things about this earlier today. There was a study that people, what was it, 15 years ago or so, they did a study and asked people, if you were in a complete crisis and you had to turn to somebody who wasn't a member of your family, friends, just group of friends, how many friends do you think you could honestly trust with a severe crisis in your life that would actually be there and help you with it? And people, 15, 20 years ago, the most general answer that they were receiving, obviously not everybody's answer is the same, but the over 50% answer was 5. There were 5 people. They actually did the same study again within the past 3 years, I want to say, and within that time frame, now the most general answer, obviously there's people that fit outside of this and have different numbers than this, but over 50% of people had said that their number was 0. There is 0 people aside from their family members that they would trust with a crisis in this day and age, and that's really sad to me to see. That's so sad to think about. It's like how could people live that way? How could you find happiness? How could you feel part of a tribe when you feel there's no one that you trust, unless it's your own family? And even then, some people don't even trust their own families. So, how can you find the happiness that comes from feeling like a collective part of something larger, such as a tribe, without actually being part of a tribe? Without, because sure, you could have 1,000 friends on the internet. Do you think that makes you feel like you're in a tribe of 1,000 people? Do you feel like you have 1,000 people that you live with and have your back and all of that different stuff? Not at all. That's it's not the way that it goes at all. And okay, good. I'm making sure that I could actually hear myself, because it would be terrible if I'm trying to leave this whole recording for myself in the future and I not even able to hear me. So, yeah. Sorry for not acknowledging anybody in chat, but as I said, I am trying to make an outlook that I'm having on life right now for myself in the future if I ever feel like I'm slipping, feel like I'm not connected with the world and other people in the way that I should be, so that I can remind myself that that life is very, very different for every single person, and for me specifically, I might not fit in most scenarios. Like, I wish that I could. I wish that I could be part of something larger, feel like I'm part of a tribe or whatever, but I don't necessarily get to, because as I said, if you are one of those people who is spiritually attuned and you are more so a shaman, then you're definitely going to feel like you don't fit in. You're going to be in a position where you don't fit in this day and age, because shamans are not a necessity anymore. It was a necessity for ancient times. They needed the shaman to help them with wisdom and help them with medicine and all these different things. But now a shaman, a person who's spiritually attuned, is not necessarily a requirement in this society, or at least most people wouldn't view them as. And there's, that's a fault with society more so than it is a fault with the person who is spiritually attuned. So there's nothing wrong with you. You are exactly who you should be. You will find a place to fit in ultimately in due time. It's not, you can't force yourself into a tribe. You can't will a tribe that you want to be a part of into existence. You can't make yourself into something you're not for other people's sake. You can't change the way that the world and life works. If you've gone through hard and terrible things, it's all a lesson. It's all a chance for you to change and grow in the future, and take that as an experience. Take it as something that you can value from, you can gain some insight from, you can become more and learn more because of it. Oh, he's gonna shoot at me, and I don't have ammo, or a lot of ammo at least. So yes, as a lesson to my future self, it's not my fault. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can change about any situation that I am forced into. I can want things to be better. I could try to will it into existence as hard as I want, but that doesn't mean that it's possible. That doesn't mean that that's the way that it's going to go. Life has a funny way of working out the way that it wants to and not the way you want it to. So as a valuable lesson, things will always try to get you down, no matter what you do in life. You can be whoever you want to be, you can try for whatever you want to try for, and things will always find a way to get you down. That's just the way that it works out. Life is cruel oftentimes. But just because it's cruel doesn't mean that it's not worth trying. Just because people won't listen doesn't mean you should stop trying to pass knowledge on to other people. Just because it feels like no one cares doesn't mean that someone won't eventually. Just because life is the way that it is doesn't mean that's the way it'll always be. I can't force intelligence upon people. I can't force change upon people. I can only take the bits of good that I've gathered throughout life as I've gone and hold on to those and try to pass them on as best that I can, including to my son. Because he deserves a better world than the one that we currently live in, especially with the way people treat each other and the way society is and the way people value themselves and all of these different things. That's why the other part of this, aside from disassociation being the first word, is we all feel disassociated. We all feel like we're not part of a tribe, like we don't fit in with other people, yet we're all biologically the same, and we do fit in, and we just can't feel like, I'm too different, I can't go make friends with that guy, he'll think I'm weird, or well, we'd rather cast doubt upon ourselves than offer ourselves smidgens of, hey, you can do this. Hey, you know what? Maybe he'll think you're cool. Maybe you'll make a best friend right now. Like, maybe this dude actually will be like, wow, this guy's awesome. I want to hang out with him all the time. Like, it's so much easier to cast the doubt upon yourself and be like, nope, this will never work. This is never going to happen. This is awful. All I'm ever going to be is stupid, and anybody else is going to view me as stupid because I think of this as myself. And no, it's so much easier to go down a negative path than it is a positive one. Being good and doing good are always the harder choices. It's so much easier to just instantly become toxic and go ahead and treat other people toxically and act like the world's your oyster and you deserve everything, and why isn't the world giving me stuff for free? Why isn't life just handing me everything? Why don't I just deserve infinite happiness and kindness and friends and to be surrounded by everything without making an effort for it? And that's the problem, is you don't want to make that effort. It's so much easier to go, you know what? Yes, I'll just join the toxicity. I'll just be the way these other people are being. And then do you think that that's the group in the tribe that you ultimately should be fitting into? Or do you think you're just altering yourself to feel like you fit in for now? Would you rather have a temporary place to fit in just so you don't feel lonely for now? Or would you rather be true to yourself and find a place that you truly fit in, even if it takes longer? And that's, most people will take the easy route. That is why convenience stores exist, is because the easy route is always, I'll pay an extra $1 if I can have something right now, as opposed to, going to the grocery store where it'll be $1 cheaper, but that means I have to go through the whole store, find the item, go over to the lines, go pay for it, all this and that, and then I might end up finding more things and end up making it into a whole shopping trip, and it's just easy route. Let's all take the easy route, and that's not the best thing to do, but it's the way people will be. It's the way life will continue to be. I can't change other people. I can't make people give up on the easy route. I can't turn and do anything any differently than what I do. And for now, what I do is try to pass positivity on myself, because I can't keep myself in this happy-go-lucky mood all the time. I can't be the happy-go-lucky that I want to be when everything else will get me feeling negative, and negativity is so much easier to feel. Feeling like I don't fit in, and feeling like everything's against me and there's nowhere to turn to, no friends, nothing to fight for. Why did I not grab that med kit? Oh, I already have 3. Okay, that's why. So, passing on knowledge. It's trying to pass it on to my future self. And, if any of you actually care to listen to it. And if you guys don't, well then, that's fine. I understand. I'm sure just hearing me ramble on about these things might be the most boring stream you've ever been to. But for me, this is important. This is my way of documenting and reminding myself to look towards the future, to know that it's not my choice. I could want to fit in no matter how bad I want it. Doesn't mean I'm going to. Doesn't mean that's part of the option right now. Sometimes I have to not fit in for a while so that I can find the place I truly fit in and feel an actual part of something. I hate the pump shotgun, but I guess I'll take it because it's gold. So don't let the doubt take over. Don't get to the point where you feel like, oh man, there's no way. How could I ever win? How could I ever be happy? How could I ever find a group of friends again? I had friends when I was in school. Haven't had a lot since then. Most of them tend to disappear. Most of them tend to find a way to shuffle out of your life, or find something to hate about you and not want to be your friend anymore, or whatever the case may be. And that's just the way that it goes. That guy almost killed me. He had all gold weapons too. How did he do that? So don't look for friends in other people. Look for friends in yourself. Be the friend that you need in life, because other people will continually disappoint you. They will always find a way. The people who will be your true friends will not want to disappoint you. They'll want to find ways to be a part of your life and be happy, and you will find that tribe that you fit into. You will find a place that you're happy. You will find a way to pass knowledge on to other people, and they actually want to be a part of it. Because I'm sure most of this is falling on deaf ears. I'm sure most of the time that I decide to do things like this, and I need to do a positive stream where I'm trying to talk positively and remind myself and pass knowledge, and maybe even on to my son. Maybe this isn't just knowledge for future me. Maybe this is something my son will listen to one day when he's older and having trouble and feeling like he doesn't fit in and feeling like the world's weighing down on him and things aren't going so well. Maybe he can find this, and some piece of it can be solace to him. I want to be good, I want to be kind, and I want to be happy. But sometimes I can't always be those things. Sometimes things weigh down on you, and your happiness turns into sadness or anger or depression, and because of that, focus on the good, and you can't pass on happiness to other people because you're unhappy. How are you going to make someone else happy when you're unhappy yourself? And that's just something that we have to learn. Something we have to find a way to get through and get past. Because just like happiness doesn't last forever, neither does depression, neither does anger, neither does sadness, neither do any of those things. And if it did last forever, then people would be in a lot worse of a situation than we actually are in. Because could you imagine if somebody could stay angry at you for forever? They decide they hate you, and they just never stop hating you from that moment. There's somebody over there across the water too. Just do the Rick dance till he shoots me in the head. Screw it. At least I got the thing. At least I got the artifact. I did the Thanos snap afterwards too. Hey, good for you, bud. Got the artifact. That was all that was important to me right there. So yeah. Future self. Please remember, even if it seems like nobody else cares, I care. I care about me. And, sometimes it may not seem like enough, but ultimately I'm the only one that has to live with me for forever. So my opinion's the only one that should matter. And my opinion of me is that I care, and you have done a good job. You've been kind, you've been good, you've been sharing, you've been caring, you've tried to pass on knowledge to other people. You've done the best you can up until this point, and you're going to keep on doing it. There's nothing to stop you. Only thing that can stop you is you. And that's giving up. And I know you're not the type who will give up. So you're going to keep pushing through. You're going to keep finding a way. And one day, who knows, some way, some shape, some form, you will have your tribe. you won't be so alone. For now, your tribe may just be you and your son. Which for now, that's enough. But someday in the future, you'll have more than that. You'll find a way. You'll find a place to fit in. Find some way to care. Care more than other people choose to. Even if people don't want you caring about them, keep doing it. Don't stop. Just keep caring about people. Don't ever give them the choice. They want to give up on themselves, that's fine. That doesn't mean you have to give up on them. And even if somebody doesn't want you around in their life, that's fine too. It doesn't mean that you have to stop praying for them. It doesn't mean you have to stop wishing for the best for them. You don't need to be directly in their life to want positivity for other people. I'm not entirely sure where this alien artifact is. It's not your fault that people decide to give up. It's not your fault that people let demons win and let their life be taken over by anger and hatred and view nothing but the negative surrounding them. No matter how other people may view you, it doesn't matter. You remember who you are. You know that the only view that matters is the view you have of yourself. Because that's what negative people do. They'll always try to find the most negative things in other people. They'll always try to pull somebody down to their level. I'm unhappy, so you should be unhappy with me. Why do I have to be unhappy, and then you get to be over here and get to try to be happy, even if you're not necessarily happy. The fact that you're trying to be happy while I'm unhappy upsets me, and that's a really salty way to live. That's a really negative thing to do to other people. We don't have to be that way. We can be more positive. We can treat each other better. We can care more. Maybe I should have eaten that hop flopper so I could hoppity floppity my way around. I don't know where this artifact is, though. I thought it was like right over here. I guess not. I'm confused. I'm lost. Oh, I'm not lost. Look at that. Just had to get to the right place. There we go. Alright. It's so messed up that the world would much rather be negative and treat each other poorly and hate rather than love. It's not your fault that the world's that way, and that's why you feel like you don't fit in. It's because the world's messed up right now. The world's not the way that it should be. People don't treat each other the way they should. Dead. And is it inside this? Where is it? It's Supposed to be somewhere around here. Oh. Somewhere around here. Destroyed those alien trees. Oh, there it is. Look at that. What use has the world for shamans? It's not like I chose to be a shaman. It's not like I wanted my ancient heritage to be tied into bloodlines of people who meant a lot in the past but mean nothing in the present. It's just what I happen to be in. It's the life I get to live. It's just what's instilled inside me. What's up, Rook? Sure, let's talk to you. Yeah, reveal. Oh, she's actually an alien. Okay. Sorry, Rook. Thought you were cool. What happened? Thought you were cool, bro. Need to look at these quests. I was just out there by the farm. Collect gold bars. Eliminate trespassers. What about the green quests? Oh, well, those are all out there. Alright, well, whatever. Guess I'm not completing any more quests this match, really. That's fine. See, maybe I shouldn't be playing. Maybe I should have just sat completely still in a lobby screen this whole time, because then I would have more focused thoughts and I would be able to convey the messages to my future self a lot better. But I figured that everybody would want content. Since I haven't been streaming for a few days, they prefer that I actually played and did something. Oh, boar, quit running. How does he still have that much health? What kind of boar are you? What kind of guy are you? Oh, who's shooting at me? That was rude. This is you over there? That was rude. No, it was somebody else. Now there's all sorts of people. I like how the guy far away is more worried about me than he was the guy who was sniping at him. That was pretty funny. Sorry, Rick. Oh, I'm terrible. Why am I terrible? Okay, not so terrible anymore. So yeah, note to self. People will always try to drag you down. Life has a magnificent way of being toxic the majority of the time. People who are living in negativity always want other people to not be happy either. They want to drag those people back down to that negativity with them. And it's not your fault that people are that way. No, I've been looking at the chat. It's just nobody's said anything pertaining to the things I've been talking about, so I haven't felt it relevant to bring up. Like I said, I noticed all of you. I'm sorry I'm not saying hello to everyone and stuff, but I am currently trying to leave a message of positivity here, and it's already interrupted by once in a while me talking about the game instead of actually doing something. So I have no idea what that did for me, but alright, cool. We did it. I know there's something that wants me to destroy stuff up on here, right? Is that a guy? Hello? Sir? Me scusi? Me scusi? What? Okay, he's out of here now. He's finally deciding to leave. He figured maybe he better not hang out up here. So yeah. In relevance, we need, you know, I'm only trying to pass on knowledge and represent the positivity that I try to represent all the time, and it's not always an easy thing to do. It's, you know, I just like everybody else have to deal with emotions, have to deal with problems, have to deal with issues, have to deal with being mistreated and disliked and not fitting in, and the world just wanting to weigh down on you, and no matter how hard you try, no matter how much you do and work towards. And you know, like I said, I've said this a couple of times before. Look at how many of the people who I've done those giveaways for, how many of them still show up? How many of them are here at this stream? Not very many. Given away 20 battle passes, and I've had a consistent 4 people here at this stream. So, you know, just because I give someone something, they don't even feel like they just like, oh well, I won that giveaway, so screw it. I don't even need to be part of this guy's community, want to share any time with him. That's why I always prefer when people who are part of the community are the ones that win my giveaways, because they're more deserving. At least they want to be here and be a part of it. They understand that things aren't always happy, things aren't always good, but that doesn't mean that, you know, oh hey, I'm just here for free stuff, you know. I bet you if I posted, you know, giveaway in the title of this video, especially not battle pass giveaway, just flat out, you know, V-Buck giveaway or buying people skins, gifting skins or whatever, I guarantee the stream would have substantially more viewers. But instead I try to post it as something positive, because this is a reminder to my future self that a lot of the world is only there for their own selfish reasons, and they may hate you because you're trying to share positivity and trying to be more than just a selfish reason, trying to be more than just, I only do things for me and I don't care what anybody else thinks. And you know, like we don't have to be like that. We can. I could be like that. I could be just like everybody else if I want to. Doesn't mean I have to, though. And I'm not going to. I'm not okay with that. Just because the rest of the world that wants to be jerks doesn't mean I want to be one. Doesn't mean that's how I want to fit into this life. I go, hey, let me just be a jerk like everyone else. Let me just be what they are, because that's the only way that it'll be cool. No thanks. Pass on all that. let the world change you. You change the world around you. It's a lot harder thing to do. Like I said, the good thing always tends to be the harder thing. It's easy to let the world change you. It's easy to go, oh, well, these people treated me poorly, so I'm going to start treating other people poorly. The hard thing to do is to go, man, this person's a jerk, but instead of being a jerk back to them, I'm going to be positive. I'm going to focus on the good things. I'm going to do the best I can and try to help other people. And yeah, way harder to do that. Inflatable. The heck? What does it do? Jump wall in midair to activate. Okay, I don't know if I want that. Oh, he's trying to snipe me from the top. I see ya. Yeah, you didn't like that, did you? Ooh, so close. Oh, this dude's lucky. You know what? Screw it. Yeah, build your little house. Use all your mats. Run away. I think my ship's only on 1 life left too, yeah. I need to not be in that. Okay, 2 different people want to shoot at me? That's cool. That's real cool. Like I'm the biggest threat in this game. I'm master builder over here. I'm Vic. They view me like I'm a Vic. They scared of me like I'm a Vic. Oh, wow, they're a Vic. Or they're just spam building. They're just spam building. So yeah, I'm not even a good player, and I could still win this game, because you know that's the metaphor for life. Is it doesn't matter even if you're bad at something. Of course you're bad at something. Everybody's bad at something when they first start doing it. It's life. It just means that you keep trying, you keep going, keep working at it, and guess what? Eventually you get better. That's how things work in life. I wasn't amazing at art, you know, when I was 2 years old. I wasn't even amazing at art when I was like 10. When I was 15. It was because I kept doing it, kept working at it. My friends would play World of Warcraft and stuff like that, and I'd put on a movie or music and sit down and draw. And those were our skills developing differently, you know, and I just haven't had the motivation to draw as much lately. I haven't been able to bring myself to it, which is a sad thing, but that's how it is for artists. Artists are often controlled and compelled by their emotions, and the way that their emotions are affecting them make them more willing or less willing to do things. And the fact that I haven't been as emotionally sound as I normally am has made it far more difficult to be happy and to do artwork and to stream as often and to try to spread the positivity. Because I don't want you guys to, I don't want the YouTube world to have to deal with me when I'm in a negative mood. My streams would be a far different thing. I would not be the same person, and I would be far more willing to swear, and I would be getting upset at every little thing, like the game before that I lost, and that guy, he landed on me and already had a sniper. Like, I would be complaining about it, and oh, this is BS, and all these different things. And I don't. That's not who I like being. That's, because of my depression and because of my negativity and because of other people putting anger towards me and stuff like that alters my mood, doesn't mean that that's who I am. It just means that my mood is altered because of things around me. And that doesn't, you choose who you want to be. The only person who can change you is you. The rest of the world can tell you to be whoever they want you to be. Your parents can tell you, oh, when you grow up, you got to run the family business. Your friends can tell you, oh, well, you're really good at this, you should do this for a living. Doesn't mean that any of those people are right. Doesn't mean that you have to do any single thing that any one of them says. The only person that you have to live with and deal with and listen to is yourself. Everybody else is whatever. It's not even an issue. It's not something you have to deal with. It's something that you just accept. It's a part of life. It's the rest of the world's always going to be telling you to do other things. I mean, that's what having a job is, and most of us are not wealthy enough that we could just live our lives without ever having to work a job. So therefore, we have to learn what a job is. We have to find a way to deal with that. And guess what a job is other people telling you what to do, and you have to listen and do it. That doesn't mean when you're outside of work that you have to continue doing that. Doesn't mean that it's like, oh, okay, well, I listen to everybody at my job, so now that I'm outside of my job, other people want to say these negative things, and I'm just going to accept that and listen to them. I'm just going to be the stupidity that the rest of the world wants to treat me as I am. And no, you don't have to be. Is he really going to come pickaxe fight me? Oh my god, there's 3 people here. So, don't conform. Don't change yourself just because that's what other people want. Like I said, you may feel like you don't fit in. You may wish you had a group of friends. You may wish that you had a place that you could fit in and feel like you belong and be happy with. That doesn't mean that you change yourself and you be more like those other people just so that you can not be alone for now. Because temporary happiness isn't going to change it. Being happy for now, going, oh, I have a group of friends for now. Sure, this isn't how I want to act and who I want to be, but hey, if I act this way, then I can fit in with them and I can have these friends for now. And it's far better than having no friends. Basically used all my ammo to not even kill that guy. Nice. But it's not. You're better off not having any friends. If your friends want to change you into something negative and remove the positivity from your life, and if they feel like you have to be like them to even be their friend, then they're not really your friends. Your friends accept you for who you are. They don't want to change you into another version of themselves. They want you to be exactly who you are, and they're happy to know you as you are. They're grateful to have a friend like you because you're different. It's a breath of fresh air. It's like, oh man, it's so cool that my friend can continue to be this way and be positive and be who he is regardless. Can watch the world around him burn. Can watch everybody be negative towards him, and he still finds a way to somehow smile and be positive and try to continue on the way he wants to be and share and care and all these different things. 'Cause sure, I could act like everybody else. Sure, all the biggest YouTubers out there, all the biggest, most popular streamers, I mean, even some of my favorite YouTubers and stuff, they curse a lot. They do all sorts of things that I don't necessarily do. And yeah, maybe I could be more popular if I was more like them. Maybe if I was funnier, I'd be more popular. But is being popular really even a necessity? Does that ultimately matter when it comes down to it? Is it going to make my day that much better being popular? Is it going to make my life that much better? Is it going to make me any happier to have strangers think I'm cool? And the answer is no. It's really not. It's not gonna make me any better in any way, shape, or form. It's not gonna be like, oh man, I'm so glad these strangers think I'm cool. My life is way better now because people I don't even know think I'm cool because I use curse words. No, whatever, like, they are who they are. They can curse if they want to, but I choose not to. I definitely have a vocabulary. I definitely could say tons of curse words and all sorts of funny, horrible, whatever you want to call them things, but I choose not to because that's not who I want to be, and that's not the kind of thing that I want to spread to the world. I want the world to understand that you can be interesting. You can be cool. You can be friendly and kind, and just because you're kind, it doesn't mean you're weak. Just because you're friendly doesn't mean that you're a pushover or someone to be used. Just because you're sharing doesn't mean that you can never keep anything for yourself. You can be all of these things. You can fit into every standard. You don't have to. No person fits into one specific standard. We're not boxes that just fit into a little bubble, and that's all you are, is one little check mark on a list of things, and you'll never be any more than that one little check mark. No, you're far more than one check mark. You'll never be as minimal as one check mark. There's the capacity for choosing things for yourself and having free will already makes you far more than one check mark. Even if you choose the negative things, even if you choose to be toxic and be mean to people and curse all the time and mistreat others and all of that stuff, you're choosing to fill in all these check marks. You're making yourself exactly who the world wants to form you into, and just because the rest of the world acts that way and that's what they want to form you into, they want you to fit into their standards, doesn't necessarily mean that they're right. Doesn't mean that anything about their standard is a good thing. I have to use one of those things. It's not just be in one, it's use one. That guy sniped from way out there somewhere? On the mountainside or something? I have no idea. Whatever. So yeah. Note to everybody. You can be exactly what you want to be. You can be better. You can be even better than you think you can be. You may think, oh man, how could I ever be like Tony Stark? Well, who's to say that you won't achieve that and more? Who's to say you won't even be better than Tony Stark? It's when you stop. It's when you reach that point where you're like, oh, well, I did it. I did good enough. You know what? It's fine. I tried my best and it was good enough, and whatever. That's fine. It's cool. I'll stick with that. Like, no. That's the moment when you can't become. When you've accepted that you can't become more. Don't accept that you can't become more. Always become more. Always be better. Be better than any other person can be. Treat the world amazingly. Because, just because the world wants to be negative to you doesn't mean you have to join in on it. You can be positive right back to the world. You can find a way to overcome. Just because the world sucks for now doesn't mean it always will. Just because people focus way too much on the internet and the toxicity that lies within it doesn't mean that they always will. I prefer to avoid most things on the internet. I use the internet for knowledge and entertainment. Those are the two classifications that I file it under. I don't file it under value or friendship or attention or any of those things. If I tried to use it for any more than what I do use it for, it would make my depression even worse than it is. Open chests or ammo boxes in low gravity areas. Dang. Could have possibly opened a chest there in a low gravity area. Oh well. So yeah, don't let the world change you. Change the world. Be better. Everybody can be worse. Being worse is easy, man. You can get mad and you can throw a rock at a car. Anybody at any specific time of any day can do that. Anybody who's driving can decide to have road rage and cut someone off and try to make someone else's day worse because of their road rage. And anybody can mistreat anybody else, and that doesn't mean anything. That's not going to help anybody. It's not going to do any good in any way, shape, or form. It's we can all give in to that negativity and toxicity so easily. It's the easiest thing to do. It's a lot harder to rise above it and go, man, I want to be better. I want to treat people better. I want to do better. Instead, we can just go, oh no, I just want to be part of it. I just want to be added bits of toxicity. So I have to claim 5 rewards. So I'll have to get basically all of these. Well, everything but 2 skins, I suppose, or I don't know. Well, whatever. We'll just get this one for now. So yeah, don't let everything get you down. The world's going to keep trying to get you down. This isn't going to be the only time you feel depression in your life. This isn't going to be the only time that you feel down, that you have people yell at you, that you have people mistreat you. Know your value. You have more value. Just because your soul is larger than their eyes doesn't mean that you're in the wrong. It's how they're treating other people. If they're treating you negatively, then clearly they're the one in the wrong. Because it takes a lot stronger of a person to have a negative situation in front of them and choose to rise above it and treat somebody positively in spite it. Like, man, this is terrible. This upsets me. But instead of focusing on how it upsets me, let me focus on, what ways can I make this better? How can I have this conversation in the form of improving the situation, instead of just giving in to the anger and the negativity of the situation and just filing it under that and, oh well, who cares? Like, they upset me, so I got mad and I screamed and yelled and they deserved it. And it's like, well, then if you don't feel remorse for it and you don't accept your part of the blame of things, then you're never going to grow and change. Growing and changing is a big step. It's something that requires you to understand your blame, understand your faults, understand ways that you can handle situations better. That doesn't mean that you let somebody scream and yell in your face and do nothing about it, but it also doesn't mean that you have to give in and scream and yell back. Because from what I've learned, when people are upset, if you manage to keep your cool and you're calm and you just deal with the situation calmly and then walk away from it, they're the ones who suffer from that, because that upsetness bothers them. and it bothers them that they couldn't bother you with it. They wanted so bad to use that anger and to ruin your mood too. And the fact that it didn't ruin your mood ruins their mood even further. And so, like, it's so hard to do. I've failed at that many times in my life because it's so difficult to do. When somebody wants to treat you poorly, your first thought is always to return the favor, to treat them poorly back. And, the first thought isn't always the right thought. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to air all of this out to find a way to wrap my head around it and understand depression and the underlying causes of it. Because originally they thought depression was a mental thing. They thought that it was something that you need to take pills for and to deal with. But more recent studies have understood that depression, there are eight or nine different forms of depression, and 2 of them come from psychosis. So 2 of them are actually mental things that can affect you, and those are curable by medication and can help with medication. But most of the causes of depression come from external, and one of the major ones would be the feeling of not fitting in, or the feeling of that you're not good enough, or that you won't have anything that you've achieved and to leave behind. And like what's your mark on the world? What are you going to be? What are you going to be? It's value is what it comes down to. Like at least 5 of the external causes of depression rely solely on that word value. It's the value in yourself, the value in what are you in part of the community, the value in what do you have, the value in what are you leaving behind, the value in what do you have to offer. If you try to make a new friend, you feel like you have to offer them something. You have to have something that about you that makes them want you as part of their life. It's like you pretty much have to put yourself up on a shelf and hope that they pick you out of all the other little action figures that are right there that they could choose to have and play with in their life. And hopefully you have the cool accessories that they like, or the style, or the look that they like, or whatever things. And that's not the way that people should treat each other. People should treat each other as we're all on that same boat. Nobody is shopping for anybody else. We're all standing here on the same plane of existence, and we all can treat each other as such. We all can care about each other regardless. Just because you're not going to be right here in my life immediately doesn't mean I should look at you as an outcast and overlook you and just pretty much pretend like you don't exist. And for people who are more spiritually in tuned, it's so hard for them because they're the ones who get overlooked the most often. If you ever walk down a street and you feel like nobody notices you, then you are spiritually in tune. You're a person who, in a past life, you might have been a shaman or a priest or a priestess or seer or a visionary or an oracle or whatever word you want to use for it. But you are somebody who, through multiple lifetimes, has become spiritually in tune. And the fact that you're spiritually in tune means you don't fit into this technologically in tune world that we're currently living in. And this is not the proper path of evolution. This is not, technology is not going to make us greater. We can make greater technology, but what makes us greater is how we strive as an entire species. It's not if one person is the richest and has all the technology and all of this stuff, and he's the only person who can afford to survive an incoming threat of an asteroid that's going to hit the planet and destroy it, and he goes and flies off on his spaceship with all of his money and plenty of food, and sure, he'll survive his entire lifetime and whatnot, but is that the survival of the species? No. And is our knowledge getting to survive? Is what we have going to continue and pass on? Even if he has a family, even if he has a bloodline and a heritage and he brings the family with him, sure, the bloodline can continue to live on, but is anyone in his bloodline the people that created the technology that he's using to save his life? Most likely not. Most likely it's not that his wife is the scientist who built the rocket ship that they got on and flew away, and that's how they survived. So, like, it's the entirety of the species that moves forward together. We either move forward together or we all crumble and we all fall. And and that's the way that people are viewing it, is they're so selfish, and it's all about me and it's all about ego. And what do I have to gain out of it? Being your friend. Sure, I'll be your friend if you're buying me lunch today. Yeah, I'll be your friend during that lunch, no problem. But then after the lunch, the next time you invite them to hang out, they think about it, and what are they getting out of it? Are you taking me to a movie? Are we doing something? Are you spending money on me? Are you getting me something? Are you picking me up? Are you gonna drive over here and pick me up? Are you what's your value to them? Are they valuing you as a person and just want to be around you, or are they valuing what you offer? And that's the problem with the world, is everybody's egos are so big that they only care about what other people are offering. That's why, like I said, if I had put giveaway in the title of this stream, I would have had 3 times as many viewers guaranteed, and that's just goes to show you it's the exact thing that shows you, okay, well, that's, people only value what they can receive out of it. They don't see me as passing knowledge as something they can receive. This stream is far more valuable than any V-Buck giveaway or gift card giveaway or anything that I've ever offered to other people. I'm offering people knowledge. I'm offering people a chance to realize what's wrong with the world. And if the younger generation can learn this and accept this and do something about it, they're the ones that can change it. I'm the one who's stuck living in it, like I'm already part of the older generation. Like, what can I do? I can try to teach my son better, but if the entirety of the generation doesn't learn, then then what can I do? Like, I've literally seen business owners who say that, like kids who are in their 20s now or whatever, what do they call themselves, Gen Z or whatever, they don't actually have skills. They don't know how to do things because they've lived their lives so sheltered and so into the internet and stuff like that, that unless it involves a smartphone or clicking on stuff and whatnot, like, they don't know how to do it. Do you know how to change a tire? Your tire pops on your car. Can you switch out the spare? Do you know how to, when you get a job, to do anything besides use the register? Can you understand what stocking is? Can you understand what facing the items are? Can you understand, like, it's actual skills that people are just losing. They're losing touch of. They're losing every part of it all because they're so focused on all the wrong things. But hey, I got 10,000 followers on Instagram, so I don't need to learn how to do anything. I'm gonna be famous. Those followers are just gonna keep rising up, and I could be toxic and horrible and whatever I want to be, as long as enough people care about me on the internet. Which, if they met you in real life, do you think they'd honestly care about you? But it's just, hey, as long as I see the value in it, then why should I change? And that's just the terrible things that we're living in, the world that we have to suffer through. And like, I wish that I could reach these younger generations and help them understand, because how I learned was going outside and doing it. Guess what? I would run, I would climb a tree, the branch would break, I would fall, I'd mess my leg up, or I'd break a bone, and I learned, oh man, that hurts. Breaking a bone sucks. Like, I honestly don't know, like, how many kids actually even spend time playing outside anymore. Like, is that a thing that children even do anymore? Because that is one of the things that taught me most of my, like, skills. Like, a lot of my skills, I could say, that I had learned and held on to from childhood came from playing outside. Playing outside gave me an imagination. Playing outside gave me a way to interact with other people and friends and stuff. It gave me a way to start going into a store on my own. While I was playing outside, I decided to go stop by this store, and now I learn how to shop on my own because I'm out at the store, and hey, I got $6 in my pocket because I earned it doing some chores, and I buy a drink and some candy and maybe a drink for my friend, and we're super excited, and I make a friend. I see another kid playing outside, and I approach him and communicate with him and become a friend. It's establish a friendship. We imagine together, and we play things together, and he has a ball, and so now we play soccer, and and so then I learn to kick and run and dive and all these different things that have real value. But then I just can't imagine the clouded way that the world is now, that how how will they have any of these skills? Do kids even interact with each other? Is their interaction mostly based on, oh, hey, yeah, you got a Facebook? Oh, yeah, cool, add me on Facebook. All right, yeah, you play Fortnite? Oh, cool, yeah, add me on Fortnite. And then they never actually see or hang out with their friends, or don't know what their actual personality type is like, or that this kid may have some quirks about him, or what he's like to actually be around and hang out with. All you know about him is what he sounds like on a video game and a microphone, and how to spend time with him in that way, and how many followers he has on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and what his posts are, because anybody can make themselves out to whatever they want to be on the internet. I could literally turn around and post a picture of Chavi the fish, my friend, and hey, post a picture of him online, and make a dating profile as Chavi the fish, or make a Facebook profile and rename it something else. I'm Ricardo Esteban, and make this whole life up, and take my pictures of my food, and oh, this is what I do, and oh, here's a picture of Italy, and I'm off on a vacation in Italy, and the internet world is so much around fake stuff that most people don't even realize half of it's fake. They just see something and they accept it as full truth. It's just, oh man, I've read this on the internet, so this must be. And it's well, sift through it yourself. Find some keys of knowledge behind it. And aside from that, you don't need to. What good is it going to do you to put on a persona and pretend to be someone online? So then if you make some real friends and you have somebody that you've talked to online for 2 years, are you ever going to meet them? Probably not, because they know your picture online is somebody who's not even you. So even if you made plans to meet them, they'd be expecting somebody completely different to walk up to them in the public place and meet them. And it's not that person. Instead, it's somebody it's you, the actual real you. So why would you want to project yourself as something that you're not? Why would you want to, not view your own flaws and go, oh man, there's some qualities that I have that aren't that great, and maybe I should do something. Maybe I should make a step to change these. Maybe I should be better than I currently am, because it's giving up on being better. It's going, all right, I'm good enough. All right, I'll never change that. Oh, my girlfriend cheated on me, so I'm going to cheat on her, and then, oh, well, my next girlfriend, because we're not together anymore, obviously, because we were cheating on each other, but, oh, yeah, my next girlfriend, well, I can assume that she's probably going to cheat on me because the last one did, and that's just instantly judging her based on other outside factors which have nothing to do with her. So then you justify yourself being oh, well, you know what, I'll just cheat on her too, and, it's taking that negativity and just dropping it further and further and further until it's so far down that you're there's no way I can recover from this. I've dug myself into a 36-foot deep hole. How can I ever, why even try now? I'll never be good. I'll never be better. Why try? Why bother? It's I've already messed up too many times. Is there any recovery from this? Is there any way that I can make my way back from this? And it's that thought process. It's that giving up of, oh, there's no way out of this, that is what drives the world to treat each other worse. Oh, well, this person did me wrong, so this is horrible, and I hate that, and so I'm going to turn around and do it to somebody else. Knowing how horrible it feels to be the one having it done to you, I don't care, because I'm the one doing it now. So the fact that I'm doing it to somebody else, I don't think about them and their feelings and their emotion, and the fact that I just put somebody through what I had to go through, and that it's terrible. Instead, I'll just continue passing it on and just making it worse and worse and worse. This is the negative spiral that just continues downward and downward and downward, and people always think, oh well, there's no way out of it. Oh, this person mistreats me. I can't do any better. Oh, why should I be the one? Why should I be the bigger person and rise up and try to do better and try to treat somebody nice who treats me poorly, or all of these things? And it's that thought of why should I that makes things worse. And instead, you should be asking yourself, why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't I be the better person? Why shouldn't I show people that you can be good and kind, even in the face of toxicity? Why shouldn't I be the good influence? And sure, everybody hates that person. Everybody hates that guy who, he can go through horrible things and he can smile. Well, not everybody. Saying everybody hates anything is obviously something. It's just a phrase, but it's never rings true. There's no thing that everybody can ever agree upon. Doesn't matter what it is, even if it's something positive. Everybody could agree that the world would be better with peace, right? You would think. But no, there will still be people out there who would be like, no, because I make my money off of the strife. I lead a gang, so they earn their things based off of something negative, so they wouldn't even like the positive. So there's nothing that can ever qualify as everybody would agree upon it. But when it comes down to it, the majority could agree that, oh man, if you have that one friend who was straight edge and he didn't do any of the negative things. The other kids were stealing from the store and he didn't do that. And the other kids started doing drugs. He didn't do that. Like he tends to have some level of people disliking him just based on, oh man, well he's always seems snooty, like he thinks he's better than us or something. And it's not even that he thinks he's better. It's if he is true to actually just being a good person, he wants you to be better too. It has nothing to do with himself just being better. He knows that himself being better is not enough. He could be as good as he possibly wants to be, but unless he can convince more people to be good and that they can do better and be better than they currently are, then the world is not going to change. It takes all of us agreeing and going, man, we need to do this. We need to be better. We need to be more than we are. We need to rise up to the challenge. We need to overcome. There's no way that we're just going to succeed by going, oh yeah, well, you know what, he's toxic, so I'm going to be toxic, and then that makes him salty, and so he gets more toxic, and that makes me salty, so I get more toxic, and all right, cool, let's just pass the negativity back and forth until eventually we have nothing but hatred and spite for each other, and blame and distrust, and all of these horrible things that we can just place upon each other, even though we are no different biologically. We all have hearts inside of us beating. We all bleed if we are stabbed or shot. We all have negative thoughts that go through our minds. We all suffer from sadness or anger, we all have to deal with all of the same things throughout life. It's just how we deal with them that changes who we are as a person and who we choose to be, because we choose how we deal with these things, and we choose what we do the next time we deal with it. You could mess up quite a few times. You could choose to be negative. You could choose to do the wrong things, and it doesn't mean you have to keep doing it. And that's the reminder. That's what I want everybody to know, is that, and to my future self that will be watching this someday in the future, when I obviously am going to be battling with depression again and dealing with negative things and people treating me horribly and feeling like I don't fit in the world and all of these things. It doesn't matter. These people will continue to do what they do. You can try to be positive. You can try to help them and guide them on the right path, but ultimately, it doesn't matter what they think of you. What you think of you is what matters. You're the only one who has to live with yourself. You're the only one that has to come to terms with the things that you've done and who you've chosen to be. And if you continue to choose the right and do the right thing, ultimately things will work out. According to the Bible, God will come and help you. God will find a way. God will help the person who does good. According to spiritualism, your spirit will rise up, and you will become better, and you will be above. You will be allowed to pass into the next dimension. According to love and kindness, you will find it because you've done nothing but continue to offer it to other people. And the more you offer this out into the universe, the more likely it is to find its way back to you. And you'll eventually find people who love you and are kind and care for you and want you to be a part of them, part of their group, a part of their tribe. And you'll have that place that you fit in. And who knows what your role in that tribe will be. Maybe you'll be the leader. Maybe you'll be the spiritual advisor. Maybe you'll be the consultant. Maybe you'll be, the person who with all the ideas. Maybe who knows what you'll be. You can never know exactly what lies ahead. And the fact that the future is always ahead is you're only ever living the present. You will always be in the present. The future will always seem so distant and so far away because you're always only going to be in the present. As soon as it becomes tomorrow, it's today, and tomorrow still exists 24 hours away. So you're always going to be living in that present, and it's what you do with the present. Be positive. Use that to your advantage. Just continue to be the person that you want to be, no matter how much everything else wants to weigh you down. You don't have to do that. You don't have to give in to their ways. You don't have to be a part of the hate and be a part of the sadness and be a part of the mistreating each other. You can be exactly what you want of the world. If you want other people to be this way, lead by example. Doesn't mean anybody's going to follow. Doesn't mean that, in your lifetime you'll even have one person who takes your words and truly cares about it and goes, man, you know what, this guy's right, and I'm going to try to live the way he does, and goes through all the same hardships you go through, and they decide, oh man, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, the world has beaten me down too many times. Like, I can't continue to be good. I can't continue to be positive. Why not just give in and join into the rest of the world? Like, that is always the easier option. And don't take the easy option. Alien, you can do this. You can rise above. You can be the positive option. You can be what you want to see in the world. And even if it doesn't happen in your lifetime, it doesn't mean that you can't make it better for your son's lifetime. It doesn't mean that you can't find a way to reach out there and grasp a hold of even one person who might do the same thing you do, and then that person can reach out and grasp a hold of one person, and so on and so forth, until eventually there's 100 years from now, there's a population of 100,000 people who feel and think and believe in the same way that I do, that the only way that the world is going to change and the way that we're going to treat each other better and be kind to each other and stop valuing ourselves based on digital numbers online, or how much stuff we own, or how pretty I am, or how many suitors I have, or whatever thing it may be, whatever each person decides to value themselves based on it. None of that is your true value. Your true value is the soul inside of you, and that soul is what emanates the light, and that light is what can possibly reach out to the world and light up everybody else. And if we can all work together, I feel like humans in way past existence were probably way happier. I bet just being in a tribe, knowing that you go out and hunt, or knowing that your job is to pick the berries, or you cut up the food after they bring it back after they're done hunting, or you make the deerskin teepees that everybody lives in, or you have your role. You're a part of that society, and you all care about each other because you're all essential to the tribe, to the existence of the tribe. You all want to survive together. You don't want to, oh man, we survive, but that one group right over there, those three people, we don't like them, even though they're part of our same tribe. We choose to subjugate them and separate them from us because of something. Oh well, they think that it's cool to paint on their clothing, and we don't do that. We only just wear our deer skins the way they are, and we don't put any paint on it, but they put some paint on it, and so we decide to subjugate them, and we don't like them because of that. No, odds are they were very supportive. They were like, man, wow, you painted that on your man, can you paint mine? Like, this is cool. They're supportive of each other. They cared. They were a tribe that wanted to move forward together, and that's what they did. That's how they succeeded. So, like, that's the way that it should be. Is we should actually care about each other and care about moving forward as a species, not just as one. Hey man, oh yeah, you know what? Let's go the way of world powers. Let's just all fight each other until one world power ultimately ends up in control, and all the other ones are either dead or enslaved, and then that world power gets to choose what's best for the species. Like, how is that right? Why is the majority not in control? It's just by the definition of the word majority, you would think that they would have the control. But the majority tends to be the masses that are too busy staring at their phones and caring about numbers than they are learning and understanding and moving forward and treating each other the way that they want to be treated, and, like, passing on life, passing on lessons, and wanting to become more. It's everybody can say they want to become more. Everybody, if the only reason you want to become more is so that you become rich and that you make lots of money, that's not necessarily a good reason to want to become more. Like, sure, maybe work for some people and whatnot, but that's when the way that I want to become more has nothing to do with that level of value. Value in money, value in objects, value in amount of land that I own, even though, it is messed up. There is only a certain amount of land on this planet, and the fact that we are divvying it up and saying that these people own these certain lands and this and that, and they can build this on it specifically, but you can't build that over here, and, it is messed up that we do that, instead of just going, man, it's all of our land, and we all should be able to have a part of it. Like, we should have a place to stay on our land. We should have a place to grow on our land. We should have a place to build on our land. We should have a place to survive on our land. But we don't. Instead, we subjugate it, and we go, oh, well, you have to spend your entire life working if you want to own this piece of land, and then and then we tell you what you can and can't build on it, and then even after you own it, you still have to continue paying us because we told you that you own it, but we also want more. It's never enough. We need you to continually pay us so that we know that you'll continually work and be a little worker ant and do what we want you to do. That's where the level of control comes from. If you can break away from that, break that loop, then you can become in control of your own destiny, and you can choose for yourself, like, what kind of work do I want to do? What talents do I have that I want to work on and become better with? What things can I do that can actually shape and help and move forward the species as a whole? What can I do that's good for society? And instead, they just want you to, hey, learn how to do the simple things we need you to do. Just scan items, just put stuff on shelves, just drive a truck back and forth, just whatever things that they say that society needs to be done, which, who knows how much longer that's going to last, because there's no doubt that humans have alien technology, and there is no doubt that eventually they're going to figure out how to utilize it. And guess what? Or maybe they already have figured out a way to utilize it, but the problem is they know that in releasing this information and utilizing this alien technology, it is going to destroy their whole deception of control, their whole, hey, you need money and this is the only way society is going to survive and all this stuff. No, instead, everything is going to be different. Suddenly, people will be able to build whole buildings by themselves. People will be able to travel vast distances by themselves. People will be able to will be able to explore our entire solar system and beyond. We'll be able to do so much more than people even think capable. It's everything that you can see in a science fiction movie, book, whatever it may be, TV show, any of it. All of it is possible and more. There's no doubt that all of that isn't beyond possible. There's no doubt about it at all. It's, I can't say what the world's going to be like in 300 years, but I can guarantee that if they continue pursuing advanced technology, eventually they're going to hit that point where they realize that money has no value and that society as a whole doesn't even need it. There's no need to control people. Instead, the only need that would be left is to value people for the skills that they have. Okay, what's this person good at? Oh, okay, you're an architect. You can think of really unique buildings and shapes and really smart ways to lay out a building plan so that you can fit more space in there, and perfect. That's the job you're getting. It's not going to be, you need to study for it and apply for this job and work towards it. And no, everybody's going to fit their place into society just because they can. It's not going to be, oh, hey, you're required to work for this piece of paper so that you can have more things. Like, no, we're going to have everything we need and more. And it's not going to be a problem. So we're just going to learn to develop skills. We're just going to learn to, hey, what natural skills do you have, or what skills do you want to pursue and become better at? And that's all it's going to come down to. And, that's life will find a way. And I wish that I was alive either way in the past or way in the future, because the current body that I embody is not on the timeline that I should be in. For the way my spiritualism is and for the way my mindset is, I should not be living in a technological era that cares so much about social media, because I do not fit in this era. This is not where I belong. This is not the place that I should be, because that's how I feel, is I just don't fit in, and I don't know if I will. But there's no way that there are not other people out there who don't think like me and who don't have some kind of mindset like I do, and that I will fit in with them. It's just finding those people. It's finding my way to a group that I will fit in, and finding my tribe and where I belong for this era. Because I bet you 300 years in the future I would do great, and I bet you 600 years in the past, or maybe even more than that, I would do great. I would be able to fit right in with a tribe and a society, and my creativity would be, and my ideas would be considered useful, and I would have a place where I fit, and feel I fit, and I feel I belong, and feel like I have something to offer, and feel I have something to leave behind. And as I was saying, these are the external things that affect most people that causes depression. Without these external things affecting you, and it sucks, because we give into it. We give into it, and we get online, and we get on a little Facebook account, and we look, and we see, oh man, I posted something that was really important to me, and it only got 3 likes out of my 600 Facebook friends, and and it starts affecting you, and it makes you feel depressed, and but if you actually had a tribe of people, a group that actually is there actively involved in your life around you, and you shared that with them, and they, instead of just giving you a little thumbs up, hey, they actually respond and build on your idea, or offer their own ideas back in, or say things that you can change or alter about your idea that might make it better, or all of these different things, just give you more influence on it, give you more feedback on it, then it would affect you positively. It wouldn't become something that's causing you depression externally. Instead, it would be something externally that's affecting you positively, and now you're even more motivated than you ever were. Not only was this just an idea a little while ago, but now after talking with your closest group of friends, your tribe, as I keep calling them, suddenly, oh man, this is way more than an idea. This is something that I'm going to pursue and do, and we can make this happen. We can make this work, and the inspiration is there. And that's the thing, is it when any species becomes inspired, they become so much more, because we live in a very strange world. The strange thing about this world is it's fear and ego is what causes us to survive it. That's for so long, from the time we were first learning our way in this world. It's the fear of what could happen next and how we can prevent it, and the ego of I'm valuable and I need to survive and I need to make my way through this. And the ego of, oh, this is our king and he's more valuable than any of us. And like these are things that we've indoctrinated into ourselves from so long ago that we still hold on to them like it actually matters and like it's any part of the truth that is out there. And it is not. This is not the truth. This is not the way that it needs to be. It can be so much better. We all are equal. We all are kings. We all are queens. We all can be as great as we want to be. There's no ego that is better than any other ego. And once we start viewing it as that, once we start viewing as not only what can I do for myself, but what can I do for other people to help them, and they don't view you as what can you do for them. They view you as, I appreciate and value this person, regardless of what they do with their life. And the fact that they want to do something for me makes me want to do something back for them. And guess what? That circle starts passing around. And instead of passing back and forth toxicity, now everybody is working towards making each other better. Like, they literally did a study with people who had depression, and they got them together in a group and had these people start a garden together. And none of these people even knew how to garden. And by the end of it, they were caring about each other so much that one of them was actually living on a bus, sleeping in a bus, and that's all they had. They didn't actually have a home. And all the other people pooled together to come up with enough money to help that person get a home. This was somebody who was a stranger to them a year before that. But instead, because they started working together on a project, on a garden together, and doing something together, and caring about each other, and becoming a tribe together, they actually wanted to help the other person. The good in them made its way out. And that's what happens when we start feeling fulfilled in those things that we need, when we need to feel like I'm part of a tribe and that I'm valued and that what I do matters and that other people care about me, and all of these little needs that we need to fulfill. Once we start fulfilling those or fulfilled, we start just naturally wanting to be good. It's not like we naturally want to be bad and treat each other poorly. It's the indoctrination of our world and how the internet causes us to treat each other that makes us do these things to each other. But once we get past that, and once we just start viewing each other as, hey, we're all people, we're all going through stuff, those were all people with depression. So don't you think that oftentimes they'd be talking to each other about some really sad stuff and have some really sad stories and stuff. Like, I can imagine just how, they're all sitting there crying while they're trying to garden some stuff. But they still found a way past it because they grew together. They became more, because whenever it is more than just one person working towards something, once it becomes a group of people working towards something, the power in it becomes so much stronger. And that's why these movements have happened. If you look throughout history, and Martin Luther King and all these different things, like it's because a group of people all worked together towards a common goal. And it's not classifying people separately. It's not going to be based on their color, based on their race, based on their beliefs and their religion, based on their the region they grew up in, based on the language they speak, based on any of these things. None of it is going to matter. It is going to be above and beyond that. It's going to be, as a species, we need to move forward together. We need to find a way, because who knows? Sure, they say, hey, yeah, our planet can survive for however many millions or maybe even billions of years or whatever, but who's to say that there isn't unforeseen events coming in the not so distant future? Who's to say that 200 years from now an asteroid isn't going to become barreling towards the planet, and based on their predictions and their scientific research, it is going to destroy half of the planet? Just flat out destroy it, and then make the other half unlivable for X number of years. Like, that's, and then what are people going to do? Are they going to continue fighting each other and hating each other and subjugating each other? Or are they going to realize, as a species, we have to band together and find a way past this, because it's the only way we all survive. It's the only way that we win and succeed at this. We need to do something about this. We either need to stop the asteroid, or we need to find a way to get off the planet and survive and come back in X number of years, or we need to, they're going to put their heads together and really wrap it around it and go, man, we need to figure something out about this. So, that's all it's going to come down to, is why continue to push a wedge in between each other? Why continue to think that any one person is more valuable than any other person, when the only thing that's going to do any of us any good is realizing that our value is as a species, not as one, but as a whole. We're valuing one little tiny piece. We're taking one of how many? Over 8 billion people who live on the planet, and we're saying that these 100,000 are the most valuable, and because they're actors, or these 100,000 are the most valuable because they're scientists, or these 100,000 are the most valuable, or these million people are more valuable because their race is this, and it's none of that is going to do anybody any good. So that's all I'm really trying to push, is that no matter what the world does, it's always going to try to bring you down with negativity. Maybe not always. We can hope that always is a unrealistic viewpoint on it, but the world is going to continually try to bring you down with negativity and toxicity and mistreat you and wants you to join into that negativity. And don't give up. Don't give in. Don't be a part of it. Keep viewing the world as the better place that you want it to be, because even if it doesn't become that in your lifetime, doesn't mean that it won't in the next, or the next after that, or who knows, but something's going to happen. Something's got to change. Something's got to give. You can't keep bending and bending and bending the rules of society and continually trying to drive a wedge between people. It's either going to break, and people are going to drive that wedge between each other, and the world's going to be worse off than I would ever hope for, or they're going to find a way to bend around it, and the world's going to be far better off than I could even imagine. People are going to actually care. Caring is going to be more than just a word. It's going to be something that we live and treat each other with all the time. So yeah, that's the sole message to myself. Future alien, come back to this video if you're ever feeling down, and if you ever feel like you need a reminder of what you're working towards and what you care about, and that you do have value, and that one day you will fit in. One day you will have a place, even if it's just me and my son, even if it's just you and Nako, and that's your place. And between you and him, you can do a lot more than just you by yourself. So don't forget that, is you already have a piece of a tribe. Even if you never have a full tribe, you have your son, and he's part of your tribe for life. So do it. Just do it. Just rise above. Continue to be better. Don't give in. Don't be part of the hate. Don't be part of the mistreating. Don't be what the world wants you to be. Be what you want to be, and show the world that you can do it, that you can change, that no matter how bad people think it is and how bad they think their life is, you can change. You can become better. You can choose to be better. You don't have to be as negative and horrible as everybody else wants you to be. You don't have to be what the world tells you you are. They tell you that you're this or that, or that you suck, or whatever it may be. Doesn't matter. You're not those things. You are what you choose to be. Wake up and remind yourself every day, you can do better. Hey, even if you think you're doing better right now, continue to do better. Don't stop that dream. Don't just go, all right, I did better. That's good enough. I'm just, let's stop here. No, keep going. Don't ever stop it. There's always better. The whole point of the word better implies that there is always room for improvement. So don't ever think you're the best. Just always think that you can be better. Because no matter what, it's once you feel like you've done the best you can, that's when you stop. That's when you go, man, I did the best I could. I don't know what else I could do. I did the best I could. No, you can do better. You can be better. Better is better than best when it comes down to it, because it still always implies that there's that room for improvement. So do that. Be the room for improvement. Improve the world around you, improve yourself, improve each other, care about everything. As always, peace, love, unity, respect. Catch you guys in the next stream. Peace out.